How's it going, everybody? Want to take a second to thank this week's sponsor, Gulf Coast Dad Core. If you're like me, you have no shortage of band tees that are of varying degrees of acceptability to wear in public, much less your kid's school. Well, that's also the mentality behind Gulf Coast Dad Core. They wanted a shirt that was modern and stylish without compromising who you are. Gulf Coast Dad Core is a brand that combines the salt life mentality of Southwest Florida while also keeping true to their punk and hardcore roots with a healthy splash of metal. They provide shirts and other wearables for everyone to embrace the inclusivity that makes punk rock so great. They may be dadcore, but they're for the whole family. Check them out online at gulfcoastxdadcore.com and get 10% off your purchase up to 2 times with code podcast23. Again, that's gulfcoastxdadcore.com. Thanks again so much to Gulf Coast Dadcore for sponsoring this week's episode. Let's get into it and have some fun, eh? Hey? Did I really say A? That's so northern Minnesotan of me. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Where Did All My Friends Go? Podcast about life in the music industry. I'm your host, Patrick Tarnowski. With me is my good friend, pal, buddy, compadre, Matt Reed. And, you know, right now, we got a couple of the peeps from Seneca Burns here. There's a good possibility Fernway may join us. However, they have not yet. But this is our Bardown BreakFEST special part 1. Right? It's the breakfast still?
Yes, the breakfast.
Yeah.
Like 2 eggs and a hanky.
And a hanky.
Can I tell you what I wanted the festival to be called before we partnered with Bardown?
Oh God.
Of course.
Yeah.
And everybody in our little clique, like that we put this all together with, thought I was crazy, and they're just wrong. You know what I wanted to call it?
Yes.
I wanted to call it the Big Pop Punk Fest.
Wow.
Because when you put it on a flyer and you promote it, you can have it be the Big PP Fest.
Oh, nice.
And
I
make
like that.
all the arts like kind of phallic.
Sure.
But like plausible deniability, like give yourself enough of an out to go, it's pop punk. Like get over yourself. What's wrong with you?
I was hoping you were gonna say that that the idea was to call it When We Were Young.
Oh, we should have called it Now That We're Old.
Did you see that they just did like a new metal fest?
Yes.
Like same everything. They just changed When We Were Young to Sick New World, and they missed the fucking opportunity to spell new and you. They spelt it normal.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing?
Yeah. No,
Failed.
this makes no sense. Two of our friends, Grace and Music, who play in the band Cosmic Twink in Charlotte, and Grace plays in the band Wasteoid, who is on the festival.
Okay.
They are at Sick New World. Cosmic Twink was like the brainchild of Music. He bought a SJC thrash can side snare. It sounds like the like ping new metal snare.
Mm-hmm.
And he just like it just inspired him to want to make a project. So that's what the new project Cosmic Twink is about.
I support it. I'm all for this, for new metal. Let's bring this back again too. You know, we got Silly Goose going right now. I'm ready for it. Let's go.
I tried to book Silly Goose to play the first show of the first tour that Atticus and I went on, and they only had like 2 singles out at the time, and they were like, we can't do this one, but catch us on the next go around. And then like 3 months later they blew up. I was like, well, there that goes.
Well,
that's out of the question now. Awesome. Cool.
You know, Silly Goose are great though. I've spent a considerable amount of time since then, and then even after like the social media blow up. Like they're a fantastic band.
Oh yeah, I've told Matt at this point, I am pretty sure that their album is going to be like my most listened to uh thing on Spotify come Wrapped at the end of the year. I've listened to the album way too much or not enough. It
No,
depends
that's a
on who
good
you want to
thing.
ask.
That's a good thing. It always makes me happy. Like there's a band from Charlotte that came like cropped up after COVID
Okay.
called Tetanus. And
Oh.
like scrolling through my Spotify Wrapped and hearing like one of their songs and hearing like other songs that like from bands that I found other than just like the usual.
Yeah.
It's like that's like the most satisfying part of Spotify Wrapped for me, personally.
Hell
'Cause
yeah.
God, Lord knows it's not the numbers that we get at the end of the year.
Dude, Spotify Wrapped is one of the best parts of the year. Like, I get so fucking excited for Spotify Wrapped. I
No,
don't
they
know
knocked
why.
that out of the park. They
Yeah.
absolutely knocked that out of the park.
Absolutely. So we started talking a little bit about, Bardown and the breakfast. How'd you all get involved with Bardown Breakdown and with, just the festival in general?
Christian beat him to the punch, got the dates booked for a 2-day festival, and then Mike from Bardown hit up the talent buyer at the Milestone and was like, "Hey, can we have these dates?" And he was like, "Too late, sucker."
Is that
so,
verbatim how
that was verbatim what Buck said. And so Mike calls Christian and he's like, "Hey, can we maybe powwow this?" And Christian's like, "Anything to make sure that it's not called the Big PP Fest."
I was wondering why you were hijacking like my opportunity to talk, but you had that planned out.
Yeah,
All right.
he was waiting for it. Christian, your turn. Let's hear it.
No, so it had been a couple years since I had booked any sort of festival. When I was in my first band, we used to do an annual cancer benefit, and each year it kind of grew. And the final year we did it, before I wound up parting ways with that band, we did 2 days, two cities, and each day had a completely different lineup except for my band at the time, and actually Fernway co-headline both those days with us.
Okay.
So that was 2018. So a couple years go by, and it seems like the music scene in Charlotte's popping off come last summer. I think COVID just kind of revitalized a lot of people. It made everybody want to get back into it. So I told Buck, I was like, "Hey, I want to do a birthday show, and I think at this point I've got enough people interested that I need 2 days for it." So I locked these dates in last August, and I think sometime around the beginning of October, I got a random email from Mikey, and it was like, "Hey, you don't know me, but Buck told me I need to talk to you because I want to do the same thing you're doing on the same days you're doing it. How can we make this work?" And at first I was very skeptical, and I've told him, I was like, "Dude, I almost did not answer you." And I just kind of I talked to Atticus, and I talked to Peter from Home for the Day, and I was like, "What do y'all think? Should we hear him out?" And we got on a conference call, and you know, the last six months or 7 months, we've put a whole lot of work into making this into something special, and I'm very proud of this. I'm excited for the lineup. That this is hands down one of the coolest things I've got to put on my resume.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I mean, it like I heard last year was a lot of fun. So I'm pretty stoked for you guys for this year. We're really hoping we can try and make it down for it, or at least me, but I do not know yet. That is quite the traverse for me at this point.
Well, if you do decide you want to come down, we've got a spot held for you. Just
Heck yeah.
let us know and we'll take care of you.
Hell
It's
yeah.
right on my lap.
Right on your lap?
Yes.
Okay, are we gonna do we get to
So-
like sleep in the like bunk beds
Well,
or the
so
same beds?
It's a little bit different. So in the milestone, in the back of the milestone, by where normally a show has merch, there is a pull-out sofa
Yes.
that looks to be
Okay.
from the 80s
Cool.
and is missing a cushion.
Is that where
Okay.
we're crashing?
That's me and you right there.
Was that what you had to give what you got in return of not calling it the big PP fest?
You got the couch?
You got the couch with
Yes.
the sofa?
Yeah, I got the couch. It wasn't enough to get the extra cushion to make it a full couch. But that's fine. You know, we're kind of leveraging our future with these draft picks here.
So, great answer.
Mhm.
So talking about y'all as a band, you guys describe yourself as pixelated pop punk. What does that mean to you?
You guys know the band. You guys know the band Good Hangs.
Yeah,
They do What
I
Is This
don't-
Garbage?
I know of them. Yes.
So that series that they did on TikTok, What Is This Garbage? Matt, our other guitar player and singer, he found it at like the second one.
Okay.
And he sent it to me and he said, "This is what you're doing for the next 15 minutes is figuring out how to get them to shit on us." And so I hit up the Good Hangs Instagram, and apparently it was right before everyone else started messaging them ad nauseum, because he put us right in the queue. And he was like, "Yeah, I don't know how long it's gonna take. I don't know if we're gonna make this like a real series or not." And I was like, "Dude, it's gold. Run with it." And he's like, "Okay." I said, "Do me a favor." He said, "What?" I said, "Make it sting.
Mhm.
Make it hurt." He didn't give us any quarter either. Like all the other bands, he'll shit on them, and then the song will come on, and he's like, fucking jam into it, and he's like, "Yeah, this is garbage." Ours, he just busts out like a bottle of Jack. He's just painfully getting through the song. But he did say something when he was analyzing our Spotify profile. He said, he pulled up like our cover photo. He was like, "What is this pixelated junk? Like you got your mom's Nikon cool pics to take it." And
Couldn't afford a
so
real photographer.
yeah, so to get him back, he was like, "What is this pixelated junk?" I decided like, you know, like Blink-182 has crappy punk rock, and
Mhm.
everybody's got their own
Yeah.
brand of genre or whatever. We are pixelated pop punk. That's what it means. And I sent him like a merch bundle with pixelated pop punk on a shirt.
Nice.
I love it.
Hell yeah, that's fun. That's good story. It's got
But it's kind of like catchy, like
Yeah.
pixelated pop punk. It's
well,
that-
and it's a good conversation starter because you're like,
Exactly.
what does that fucking mean? And there you go. And now you know.
Mhm.
So who would you say are some of your biggest musical influences?
I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 6 Tom DeLonge guitars in this room.
I was gonna say you got 6 blurry things you're pointing at right there for me.
Yeah.
For those of you watching.
Yeah, no, I've got 6 Tom DeLonge guitars in this room.
So Mark Hoppus for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
Gotcha.
big Matt Skiba fan here.
So Billy Corgan.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I'm just like a massive Blink fan and have been
Sure.
since I was a kid. I had 2 older brothers, and so if Viva La Bam wasn't on, we were watching like TRL and the like 3-hour block that they played music videos on MTV. So there's that, but like as far as like other influences, like just alternative rock in general, if there was a video game soundtrack on that was part of a PlayStation 2 game, better believe it's influenced me in some capacity. And then like I've got a lot of rap influences. I started as a rapper, like
Oh.
Atmosphere and everybody
Okay.
on the Rhyme Sayers record label is just like near and dear to my heart. But also like 80s music. I love 80s music. I started in middle school like as a Michael Jackson impersonator. And so I would just do the dance and have a blast and be the weird kid. And then I've grown here in the last several years to like really love Prince.
Oh,
huge,
nice.
I'm a huge Prince mark. But that's kind of I'm kind of a mixed bag, but also the things that I really like. I think my friend described me one time. He's like, whereas most people in influence are like a brush stroke of a paintbrush, your influences are like a ballpoint pen, much thinner, not as widespread, but very defined. Like what you like everything about it. So that's me.
Nice. Christian.
Christian, how much do you like Rise Against?
Enough to get a tattoo. That was my first tattoo. I got a Rise Against tattoo.
All right, so they're okay. They're okay.
Okay.
So they've that was like kind of my introduction to like punk rock. And then honestly, the first band I can really remember coming across and being like, oh, okay, this is definitely my favorite band. I found Linkin Park when I was in like 7th grade. They had just put out Minutes to Midnight, and I think my dad had the album or something, and I just kind of got hooked on it. So new metal and punk rock were definitely my foundation. And then in high school, I had a really good friend who introduced me to like metalcore and post-hardcore. I got really big into A Day to Remember, Bring Me the Horizon, stuff like that.
Hell yeah.
And then I had a roommate in college who introduced me to Aesop Rock, which introduced me to like the entire Rhymesayers catalog. And that was one of the first things that Atticus and I actually bonded over musically, was Rhymesayers, because I was into Ace Rock and he was into Atmosphere, and come to find out they had done projects together, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, we're gonna be good friends now.
Nice.
But it all just stays in rotation for me. I think there's good in every genre if you're willing to look for it.
Yeah, we did actually. Like we both went on tour back in July with this band, Duckbeak. Christian was doing the drums on that tour. I was playing guitar, and our car was just the two of us. We took 2 cars, but it was Christian and I in our car like the whole time. And that was really like we had bonded and been on the phone for hours and hours and doing the Seneca thing, but like that was really, really where like the bond just solidified. It was just like 8 days of being in a car with one another and only one another.
Yeah.
And it was great because we like our friendship, we had a lot to our like companionship in the band. We had a lot to get over because Christian hated my songwriting for the longest time.
Fuck off, you fucking asshole. Fuck you. Don't bring that up on here. Don't start shit. You're gonna have a lovely phone call after this. Dick.
You son of a bitch.
Oh,
So Christian's got a Rise Against tattoo. Atticus, do you have any sort of like music tattoo?
I am a clean slate.
Clean slate.
I wanted to get, so I wanted to do the BioShock like 3 chain links.
Yeah.
On my right wrist, and then do like a whole sleeve. And then I went to the high school that had enough of the big jacked up trucks and the people driving them's girlfriends who have like the Bible verse and the cross, and it was just so many of them. And no disrespect to what anybody wants to do, like you're totally cool to do it, but I was like, man, I don't know if I want a tattoo. And it just, that kind of like sour mindset continued on into my mid-20s, and now I'm just like, what am I going to get a tattoo of now?
Christian's
like,
face.
My body is stretching already, and I'm just like, you know what? If I do decide to get healthier and like just slim back down again, I'm gonna get a tattoo, and then it's gonna be like pucker face. It's gonna look like one of those Warheads guys on the candy. Or if I just decide to just keep going, keep drinking the sodas and keep eating junk food, like it's just gonna blossom out further. I'm like, you know what?
Well, then maybe you should plan your tattoo on your body growth.
Yeah.
Something that will grow.
Get a blowfish on your stomach.
There we go.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of a way that you could get like something that just looks like a little pill, but the more that you grow, it's like one of those little things that you put in water and it blossoms into like an animal or something like that.
Or you just get a penis.
Yeah.
I was trying to think like
Kind of gross.
I was going somewhere obviously like a lot more innocent with mine. I was like, you could get a Power Ranger, and then as you grow, they grow to fight the monsters. And he's like, you can get a fucking dick. Jeez.
I'm
The
just
blunt honesty. You could get a cock.
You could get yourself a big old dick.
You know what I did? You know what I did want to get, and I still may.
Huh.
Why did that look like you looked around at me singing? He's like, "Shut up, dude."
Hey, quiet down back there.
No, fucking. I wanted to get like a small little pirate on my ass so I could have a butt pirate because I think that's hilarious.
That's funny. See, I have something like mildly. I
have a butt pirate.
I have a Care Bear tattoo on my butt, like their logo, because that's where the Care Bears have their logo. I even have the little trait, the little TM. You know,
I thought you were like, I got a little Care Bear on my ass because that's where Care Bears come from. My ass.
That's where they come from. My ass. No, that's where the Care Bears have their little logo on their butt. So I wanted to be an honorary Care Bear.
See, this is the lovely part of the podcast when everybody just comes unglued. This is great.
Atticus, for context, we were talking about dicks, and Chelsea is now in the background just going, "Gonna get this dick," just over and over.
Yeah.
I'm not getting Ben's dick. Stop it.
Jeez.
Christian, I want you to turn around and see that I am already behind you, encroaching.
Quit shit.
Hey, need I remind you, you put that there, not me.
Well, I had some more unflattering pictures of you, but this was the only one that like auto cropped to fit in the screen.
Man, it's
I've got like
real
5
nice.
or 6 pictures of your like nipples on my computer.
Just have a big old nipple in the background. Wow.
Oh, Lordy.
Nice uvula.
But yeah, no, I like Blink and he likes Rise Against.
Nice.
Yeah,
Like it.
that's pretty much it.
I like it. I support it.
I do gotta ask before we move on though. What was the rap name?
Atticus Lane.
Okay.
I was. It's fine.
It's fine. Fuck it.
It's fine.
Fine.
Wait, no, hold on, Atticus. What the hell are you drinking? That's not a Coca-Cola.
I didn't have any at work. I gotta go buy some.
You should be.
I leave work with like a sweet tea or something sugary to drink.
I got a Mountain Dew.
Yeah, buddy.
Bark.
I had some Reese's iced coffee, but that's out.
I'm like, just you melted Reese's? You were just drinking some melted Reese's?
No, it's like some
Hey, but
pre-made
adult.
shit. It just tastes
That's
like
an
peanut butter
adult
coffee.
decision there.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah.
Chasing hard Reese's with vodka.
What do you guys feel are some of the most important things to focus on when promoting yourself on social media?
To be
not doing that.
Yeah,
Okay.
to be completely honest with you, I think there's no one way to make it work. Everybody's got their own level of genuine that they can put out there with themselves. Like, I've done the cover thing on TikTok. I don't do covers. That's not my gimmick. I literally tell Christian all the time, like, I would much rather play my own music than play covers. Like, that's just, and so, you know, even though I'm like, for a while I was like doing the AI thing, and like when I do a cover, I'd play the bass and the guitar, but I'd have the regular drums on there, so it wouldn't have like the superior drummer, like super generic drums, and I would, I would fully produce like this 40-second cover, and it would be tailored for TikTok, and it just like didn't go over well because that's not very genuine of me. I think it's fun, and I've got more that I could, make videos for, like a cover of The Used. I did a cover of Let It Bleed by The Used. But it just, I think the genuine thing for me on social media is just saying dumb things and posting dumb pictures. And like for the Seneca page, like to me, the way that I've outlined that page is like just a chronicle of everything that we're doing. and all the photo edits, things like that is kind of uniform, and the posts are very uniform, and I just kind of want it to be something that we can look back on and go, wow, there was that, and then it was that, and like just like a photo out, like
Sure.
a scrapbook almost. And I think that's why our Instagram, does really well. Like we do good numbers and good engagement and everything like that. Even being just a new band, I think that's why it does well, is because that's a genuine desire of mine.
Sure.
My Instagram, when I was like rapping and everything like that, like even as far back as like high school, I was just posting random pictures and random quotes, and it did so well. Like it was before the algorithm and everything like that, and it just did so well. And I think again, it was because that was genuinely just what I thought. I thought it was funny. I was doing the John Cena thing, where it's just random posts, no context, no nothing. But again, like, who am I to say what anyone else does is genuine or not? I think it's just a reflection of your internals, what percentage of genuine you're being.
Yeah.
Again, like our biggest successes come from, I go to shows and hand out stickers. I've probably handed out, based on how many we've ordered, I've handed out like 15,000 stickers since the start of the band.
Oh yeah.
And
Sure.
that's just what I want to do. I don't like, there's no QR code on it. I don't want to push it like that. It's just like, here's a sticker to throw on your laptop. If you want to have a conversation, great. If not, like, I'll dap you up, fist bump you. If you don't even want one, have a great night. Enjoy the rest of the show. I think being genuine is the only way to really promote yourself, because at the end of the day, like, every pop punk song's ever been written, every song has ever been written and recorded at this point, like, just being honest.
Yeah.
And people just find a jam with a vibe that they like, and what they really buy into is the people behind the music. And if you're not genuine, people will see that and it will show.
So kind of going off of this question and talking about your authentic self, I know you guys mentioned that you had, you just played a pretty successful show selling almost 300 pre-sales. How would you, if let's say a younger band, or like maybe a band just out of high school came up to you and said, hey, how the fuck do we do this? How do you get to that point? What would you tell them how you got where you are?
As blunt as this is to say, find a pretty decent job, try to save as much money as you can so you can go to other people's shows. That is, like, when I booked the first Seneca Burns show, it was the hiatus show for Atticus Lane and my rap career, and I just tapped out. That was that, and it was like a surprise. We were going to debut the band that night. It was kind of like the worst kept secret thing.
Sure.
We were the only local band, and it sold out. First show. Like, the reason that happened is because I spent 4 months, once I had booked the show, paying and going to other people's shows. That's it. And it wasn't like, and of course, it's not just a matter of paying the ticket and going stand in the back. Like, I shook everybody's hand there. I didn't have stickers at the time. I was just telling people about it. I was fist bumping people and trying to be as nice and, again, as genuine as possible. Like, it would mean the world to me if you or your friends or anything like that could come to this show. And that was what I did. And I think that human connection and just being honest about your intentions and everything like that, everybody knows when I come around, like, I'm going to hand you a sticker. Some people have gotten to the point where, like, oh, a sticker guy, but
It's a sticker guy.
they don't have, like, there's not like a sour taste in their mouth, or at least most of them, because they know what I'm going for. They know that this is what I really care about now. And if it ever reaches the time for me to backseat it and push maybe something else or somebody else with a better chance, like, I'll gladly do that. Sure. I'm not trying to be so selfish. I'm just trying to, take the advice that I was given of follow your dreams, give it a real shot.
Yeah.
So yeah. The overarching question was like, well, what advice would you give a band? Just jam your music, have fun. But if you want to, like, move tickets and get involved, go to other people's shows. Tony Rasmussen from the new band in Charlotte, Jiu-Jitsu, they were just a part of several hundred tickets at an all ages show. And a lot of people were there to see them. Why? Because since fall of 2021, he's been showing up at the Milestone and the Spokeasy in the mosh pit, jamming to other people's stuff. And he's been shaking hands and just becoming friends with everybody.
Yep.
And why do people come see him? Because he's the homie now. He just showed up to a bunch of shows. So yeah, go get involved. That's what I would say.
Hell yeah. I think so many people just get stuck on just like trying to do everything online and forget that human connection is probably the number one way to get people to your own shows is to go support other people.
I 1000% agree. It's, I think they're buying the Powerball ticket, forgetting that they can stack up on a bunch of $1 lottery tickets and then, go forward from there. They're trying to jump on top of the building rather than climb the ladder.
Hell yeah.
I like the second analogy way better than the first one.
That was a good one.
That's a good
Random
one.
question. I just saw this. Christian, are you wearing a Hans Gruber and the Die Hard shirt?
Yes, we played with
Sure
them.
That's
we played with them in
tight.
Winston-Salem a week ago today.
That's awesome. I just like found them this year, I think. So
I've been listening to them for about a year. Our guitarist Matt, he showed them to me maybe last spring, and we've been listening to them, and I saw that they announced this big tour and they were coming to Winston, which is my hometown. I was like, guys, I think we should try to play this show. Be a really cool opportunity. And they brought us on, and it was a great time. It was funny because I had never interacted directly with them, and there's this little market like 2 blocks up from the place we played at, and you can go in and like order food, and they've got like local groceries and like beers and stuff. And I was standing in there, and I was wearing a Streetlight Manifesto shirt, and Kurt, the singer, just walks up to me. He's like, "Hey, are you coming to the show tonight?" And I was like, "No, I'm opening for you."
Hell yeah.
But they're all super sweet. Would love to do more with them.
Hell yeah. Well, Hans, y'all, if you're listening, do more.
Let's go on the road.
Texas.
Yeah. So you guys have a song called Weedle.
Yes.
If you had to describe your band as a Pokemon, and you can't be Weedle, what Pokemon would your band be and why?
So not each individual member, just the band is one Pokemon.
I mean, if you want to go as each member being a Pokemon, I'm also okay with that.
This is pretty much the premise for the music video. We were going to shoot for it anyways. I get Pikachu because I've got a tattoo of
You disappeared.
Pikachu playing a snare drum.
I get Pikachu because
Yeah.
I tried. Hang on.
No, I saw Pikachu on a snare drum.
That's exactly what it is.
Pip farting on a snare drum.
Fart.
Okay, who else? Who else?
Matt was gonna be Weedle.
Okay.
Which I know you said can't be Weedle, but with the fact that we're going for, like, I think, yeah.
Oh.
Matt,
Will you look at this?
look who's here.
Will you look at this?
Hey, Brett, Joe not on time.
I feel so
I
bad.
tried so hard to make that work.
Well, I mean, you could definitely. So initially, this question actually was directed for both of you. I had this, so I'll ask again. So Seneca Burns, now they have a song called Weedle. If you had to describe your bands as a Pokemon, what Pokemon would your bands be and why?
What is the most flamingo-like Pokemon?
They have a flamingo Pokemon now.
Do they?
What is it?
I think
Called
there's a
Fernway.
Pokemon that looks like nowadays. You got a microwave Pokemon. if I had to answer that, I would probably say Eevee.
Ooh.
Oh,
And the reason why I say Eevee is because Fernway has a lot of different sounding songs. So if we wanted to do like a show that was like kind of more pop punk sounding, we'd probably go with like leaning towards the first EP. But we've played shows with jam bands, and then we would take our set and play like more like dance like oriented stuff, and then we would like loop it, and we would kind of groove over parts of a song and make that happen. So I would say just because whatever, I guess whichever flavor you want, like you could just have it in a live setting if you want it there.
I like it. That's a very good way of like that was a perfect Pokemon for that answer though.
Yeah.
Because I mean you can evolve so many different ways from an Eevee. I like it.
No matter how many they come out with, I'm still just like Umbreon guy at the end of the day though.
There you go. Matt, what's your Pokemon again?
Mine?
Yeah.
What would I be as a Pokemon? I don't know
Well,
what I
no,
would.
what's your favorite Pokemon again?
Arcanine.
Arcanine. That's
Oh.
it. It's big
Nice.
big Arcanine fan.
Yes, I am.
I've been playing a lot of Pokemon Go with my son lately because we got it on his phone, so we've been going and playing a lot of Pokemon.
You guys want to hear how much the band hates me?
Yes.
So we were talking about like, the different Pokemon that everybody was going to be in the Weedle video, which is still up for grabs. We may still do it because the concept is there. But Christian was going to be Pikachu, Matt was going to be Weedle, John was going to be Snorlax, and they hate me so much and think that I'm such a drama queen that I didn't even get to be a Pokemon. I was just going to be James. There's a blue wig in a bag that will be brought out one day very soon.
You just be Meowth.
Oh, that would be so nice.
That one was discussed.
Yeah.
Meowth, yeah. Nice. Nice. I like it. Let me
I'll
see
tape
where
a cracker to your forehead.
I'm the eternal heel as far as the guys are concerned.
Well, so for all you listening right now, or if you haven't seen, we do have a new person that joined. Brett from Fernway
Welcome.
made it. He's here. We're ready to go.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
Again,
Thanks.
Oh,
sorry.
Oh,
You go.
thank you so much. Again, very sorry about the time confusion on our end. That was definitely like an our bad thing. But I'm super stoked to be here. I'm
Hell
super
yeah.
happy to be.
Well,
sorry, go ahead, Pat. I was gonna say actually this occurrence plays into so much of our next question that I feel like it was like he did this on purpose because of our next question. So, Fernway, you said in an interview that your latest album Autocrate touches base on how human communication are being destroyed because of the digital age we live in. In what way do you think we could improve human communication being destroyed in the digital age?
It's really a hard thing for a lot of people to do, but especially, I mean, it's hard because everything now is just done through a phone, a computer, or through some sort of like form of communication. But I don't know, like I think one thing that I noticed helped with communication for myself was I started putting my phone on like do not disturb on days that I know I don't have anything going on. Like if I have like even if I have like 6 hours to myself, I'll put my phone on and then I will just do what I want to do for my mental health, and then I'll go out and like I'll talk with my partner, I'll talk with my friends, I'll even just like having like even a phone call just like to see how people are going. But I don't know, like I've just noticed like people just can't talk to each other anymore. It's always like, hey, I see you on Instagram, and then like they'll talk to you on Instagram, and then like you go to see them in person, and then they're like super awkward. It's like, I don't know. So I guess just I'd say the way to fix that is just taking time for humans to work on in-human communication a little better.
Hell yeah. I mean, that goes on to off of what Atticus was even saying earlier, you know, going out to shows, you know, being like present, going and being with people, you know, that's one of the best ways to even get your band out there, is to just be present, be out there. And you know, it's good for humans to be together, you know, we're like not just living digitally.
No, I agree with that wholeheartedly. Like there is, it's so creepy to see, like, I don't know, like when you see bands that are just like internet bands, and they've they've been a band for like 3 years, but they've only played like 2 shows. It's like almost like, this is really weird. Like it's really like you don't see those people at the like you don't see those people at the shows. And you know, I think I just miss the days of like, I go to a show and then I get a flyer from somebody, and I would just like, I'd look at the flyer and be like, cool, like that's cool, at least I got one of these. And then like I start to see the same band on like 2 or 3 flyers. I'm like, wait, I've seen this band before, like I've seen this name before. You know, like there's so much Instagram advertisement and TikTok advertisement that like I'll see the same band like 100 times, and if I see the same song and I can't stand the song, I'm literally just like, I'm blocked. I can't do it anymore. It's like like to me, technology is like, it's in your face all the time. It's
Right.
it's somebody like going up to you at a show. It's like, hey, like we got a show next week. I don't know if you're interested. If not, like it shows like, wow, this person had the confidence to like talk to me. I don't know. It's like they're living in real life and not like the digital world, which is kind of like cool to me. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. I mean, there's not enough, like Matt here, he's big on going to shows, big on supporting. He's probably the most like supportive person I've pretty much ever met. Which is how I even got started working with him in the first place, just because he's constantly at everybody's shows, supporting everybody, trying to like help everybody's everything be better. So it's like,
That's so sick.
Yeah, and that's the way it should be. And especially for like, you know, just, you know, for newer bands and stuff, that if you're listening, you know, get out there, go to shows. You can't just do it all over the internet. That's a freak thing when it works. It's not a common thing. So getting out there, like as old school as it is, to see people in person, it's a good way to do it.
I mean, we just heard from 2 different people from 2 different bands, completely not hearing each other's answers, giving very similar, hey, the way you grow, the way you become, you know, you support your scene is to go out there and be in the scene, be a part of the scene. It
Absolutely.
works.
It works. Exactly. I mean, there's a reason people do it. We would have one more question, but since Brett just got in here, let's circle back to actually our very first question. Brett, how did you get involved, like with Bardown Breakdown and with the Bardown BreakFEST festival?
So I kind of have been working with Fernway for the past couple of years now, and Fernway started working along like with Jonah being the main person who has been like helping make that connection. Jonah's not here. He's taking care of some other stuff.
Sure.
Got a lot of stuff going on. But Jonah is the one that like established that connection, and I couldn't be like more happy and more thankful to be a part of it. I really couldn't be more thankful.
Hell yeah.
So, yeah, I would say Jonah is where the connection was made.
Okay.
Jonah was who I reached out to about getting you guys on this one. Like anytime I want Fernway down here, I go to Jonah.
And I appreciate it. I really do. Jonah is Jonah's the man. Like I love Jonah. Like I really do. He's a little scattered at times, and
Yeah.
he's a he can be pretty disorganized at moments. But honestly, like he tries his hardest, and he wears his heart on his sleeve. He's the most in reality human being I could say on the face of the planet. Like if he's talked to you once online, he'll notice you from across the room and be like, you, and then he'll just come and give you a hug and be like, hey, how's it going? So nice to see you in person type of human being. So and,
awesome.
and I mean you know Jonah as well. You've met Jonah several times before.
I mean, it goes all the way back to like the Rescue Dawn days, like playing house shows with them, and then it turned into getting them down here in venues and the switch to Fernway. And like every time, it's like the second I see him, it's like we just pick up where we left off. I've always loved that about him.
Hell yeah.
He's just that type of person. You don't talk to him for like a couple weeks, and then it'll just be like right where you picked up. Especially since he's grown to be one of my best friends, like quicker than almost anybody has. Like usually best friends are like somebody like, oh, like I hung out with this person for like a couple years and we grew to be best friends. But like with Jonah, it was like, no, this is going to be one of my lifelong best friends.
Oh yeah,
Love
that's
it.
awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So we got one more question for all of you before we go to a quick break. If you could give our listeners a piece of advice that you know now that you wish you knew when you were first starting your journey, what would it be?
Ooh. Atticus, go ahead. You're always prepared for these.
It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be right. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to fail. Stop waiting. Stop biding your time. Just do it. Like, so many years spent waiting, watching, and like trying to make it perfect as if I was going to come out of the gate, you know, with a grand slam. And it's like, no, you don't do a 360 flip the first day you buy a skateboard. Like, it takes time. And if you're sitting around waiting to make it, like, just go do it. Go fail a million times, and then you'll succeed by accident one time, and then you'll replicate that and you'll succeed on purpose one time, and then it'll just snowball. Like, there's no sense in waiting. Stop waiting.
Love it.
If I had to give my younger self any advice, if I could pass down all my knowledge now that I do know, I would. But if I had to give my younger self this word of advice, is do not let internet numbers dictate your entire life and your well-being, because internet numbers, they can be helpful and they can mean a lot, but it feeds imposter syndrome, and the amount of like anxious thoughts, a lot of like, I think it just feeds all of us as musicians. Like we're all just like, fuck, like why don't I have 10K on Instagram, or why don't I have like 30K on TikTok, or Twitter, you know what I mean? But like none of that really matters, because all it takes is like 2,000, even like you get like 100 monthly listeners or 50 monthly listeners, you know, you get 50 devoted fans paying attention to you. That's all, you know what I mean? That's really what matters right there, is like you have 50 people coming to support you, like you're doing something right.
Mm-hmm.
Even like one person driving an hour to see you, even 10 minutes to see you, who's not a friend of the band, you're doing something right. And to keep doing that, and to, you know, you're going to make mistakes, of course, but to not let the internet numbers hurt your brain as much as they're going to.
Absolutely.
I think for me, and this is something I've reflected on a lot over the years, I guess I would tell my younger self, like, don't worry about like what the other people in your life are telling you can or can't do, whether it be family or friends or, you know, just people you meet going to these shows. Like, I started going to shows 4 years before I ever actually got my first opportunity to play in a band. And even friends from high school would be like, "You're never going to do anything with this. Like, shut it down, get a real job, focus on building like your actual life." And
Mhm.
I just always kind of had like this hard-headed attitude of, fuck you. I'm gonna do the thing I want to do. And you know, it's been almost 8 years since I played my first show, and the the tours I've got to book and go on with Home for the Day, and now the the quote success. And that's not me trying to be, you know, any sort of way, but like I had a teacher in high school tell me success is measured not by wealth, but are you happy doing what you're doing? And I'm extremely happy now. So I would say I'm very successful in that sense. Everything that Seneca gets to do is, you know, if I would have gave it up before I ever started, I wouldn't be sitting right here.
Oh yeah. All that's incredibly valuable advice. Like it's
Mhm.
and it's a tough, like being in a band, it's a tough road, man. You know, it's like it's there's a lot of ups, there's a lot of downs. And especially like I definitely like can understand with the internet stuff, you know, that's seeing numbers and wondering why they're not going up. I mean, I face that all the time, with podcast numbers and unsigned pop punk numbers. Like, what can I do better? Or, you know, or just as, you know, Spotify numbers for bands and stuff. There's tons, and sometimes it hurts, and sometimes it's really disappointing. But you got to look at like the positives, and you don't grow overnight, and you got to take it takes time. Everything takes time. And yeah, and especially as you were saying, Christian, you just got to do it. If you want to do it, you can't let anybody else tell you like what you're gonna do. Like I think most people that are musicians, professional musicians, aspiring musicians have dealt with that in, you know, one form or another. I mean, I definitely had you know, a family member tell me, you know, that I was never going to make it and stuff like that, and I moved out, and I didn't talk to him for a year. And you know, it's can be tough sometimes, but
It's very tough. I think if I had a second piece of advice, it would be like whatever adversities you face, like I don't know, whomever you're giving this advice to, watch a little bit of Avatar: The Last Airbender when they're
yeah,
doing like the lightning redirection. Whatever adversities you face, try to redirect them. You know, like I've been accused, and rightfully so, of being like a little spiteful and a little bitter sometimes. But I try not to let it get to me directly so much as I let it fuel what we do as a band and what, you know, I do in not only my creative endeavors, but my professional endeavors and, you know, relationships that I'm in. I try to take, you know, when someone says something negative about me or detrimental to what I'm trying to do, it's like I told you earlier with the sticker thing. You don't want the sticker? Have a great night. In the back of my mind, I'm going, you're going to wish you took that fucking sticker.
yeah, you want that fucking sticker.
You're
bud.
going to wish that you took that fucking sticker. Like, you know, just everything that we talked about today, like, and everything that happened to me today and what you guys are talking about now, I'm thinking about like all the people that I went to high school with, and I'm like, you know what? Like, fuck you. You know what I mean? Like, fuck you. You know, you said I couldn't. You know, Miss Hill said that I couldn't. All these people said that I couldn't, and there are a few that say that you can. And there are a few
Yeah.
that impart that good wisdom upon you.
Right.
But like growing up, especially as you know, all of us as like creative minds and creatively driven people, like there is so much adversity to be faced. And your success is not determined by how many easy waters you swim through. Your success is determined by how many times you duck your head under, swim through the storm, and make it out clean on the other side. Like, I just, just the advice, like I said at the start, just like anything negative, just redirect it and let it drive your positive. Don't let it bring you down. Let it propel you forward. If it's going to be incendiary, let it push the piston.
I think, here's the deal. I don't know if you're doing this on purpose, but I definitely think once the episode comes out, you should re-listen through it, and you should write a song with all of the fucking one-liners you keep popping out.
They're so good. So good.
Like you've got a whole song in here, bud.
You know what's crazy about that? I appreciate you, because that is a compliment. In my opinion, at least. I think that's a compliment. So the last rap album that I wrote and recorded, I'd never released it. In fact, I got nominated 15 months after my last show. I got nominated for an award against a bunch of other rappers in Charlotte. I don't know who made that decision.
Okay.
But thank you. I made like a pact online on my Instagram that if I somehow win the award, I will just release that album. Like, fuck it, whatever. The goal with that album was I wanted to see how many tattooable, like, out of context one-liners I could make work.
Yeah.
So the fact that you're like, you just keep spitting these one-liners, and I'm like, gosh. So I'm still on my game.
You got another album in you.
Somewhere. It's a Seneca Burns album. I guarantee you that.
The Atticus, a second ago, you were talking about, like, wishing they had took the sticker, and talking about like the people from high school and the teacher that were like, no, you can't do this. So this year is my 10-year like high school reunion or whatever, and we're not at liberty to say who or where, but Seneca Burns is going on a 3-week tour this fall, and there is a group chat or like a Facebook group with a bunch of people that I graduated with, and they're like, hey, all right, we're doing the reunion in October, and I was in this and I was involved, and I was like, yeah, I'll come, whatever. And we got on that tour, and I just dropped, like, in that group, I was like, hey, sorry, I'm gonna be somewhere else that night playing a show, like, glad to see y'all are doing well though. And that was like one of those moments I was like, yeah, that felt way better than I thought it was going to.
I've been there. I've done the same thing, because I'm at like 20-year high school reunion, so I've had a few of them. Yeah, it's old shit.
Sorry, didn't mean to take you down that path.
No, it's good. It's good.
Do your knees hurt?
No, but I pulled my fucking back earlier. Let's talk about that. No. Oh,
was it getting out of one of the porno chairs?
Living. What?
Was it getting out of one of the porno chairs in the back?
Those aren't for sitting. Those are for looking.
Those are for fucking.
No. I actually did like pull a muscle in my back. But the sad thing is I don't think from what I can recall from this morning, I think I was just walking through the kitchen. I think I was just walking. And that's what happens when you get old. You just walk, you wake up, you stretch, something pops. It's fun.
I feel that.
Don't do it.
I don't know why, like, the skin is falling off of my hands.
We're old.
I know it's not from playing guitar now, because it's not exclusively where I play guitar, and I'm just like, I can't keep the skin on my hands.
That's weird. And with that, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back with this next segment.
What's up, friends? We're super stoked to tell you that we just partnered with GFUEL. And let me tell you, there is no more pop punk beverage on the market right now than GFUEL. GFUEL keeps you energized, focused, and hydrated. If you go to gfuel.com right now and use code UnsignedPopPunk, you're going to save 20% off your entire order. You can get it in the tub form and have 40 freaking servings of flavors like Rick and Morty's Unstable Portal Fluid, which is a delicious strawberry limeade, or get something in the can form like Sonic's Peach Rings or Crash Bandicoot's Wumpa Fruit. Go to gfuel.com and check it out for yourself. Let us know what your favorite flavor is. And once again, don't forget to use our code UnsignedPopPunk to save 20%. It's a heck of a deal, man.
And we're back. Now we're going to dive on into our next segment, which is the Food for Thought segment. We're done talking about, meaningful things. Now it's time to ask the hard-hitting questions about food. We didn't even write Matt didn't even write most of these. He just wrote, a couple words down to like signify, I think this is the question. And I got one question, but the other two I'll let Matt do them.
Don't you worry.
He cliff noted that shit for himself. So the first question, since the festival, our playing is called Bardown BreakFEST, what is your perfect breakfast meal?
Christian's ass.
God damn it, Ben.
I feel like that response was because it was the truth and he didn't want that to come out.
No, nothing comes out.
Oh, that's fair.
It's as an entryway.
All right, that is your answer. Christian, what is your perfect breakfast meal?
As much as I don't like Waffle House, and that's a whole nother story we can get into later. The full plate with the eggs and the bacon and the sausage and always double down on the hash browns, like, gotta have it. I'll put gravy on the hash browns too. Like, that's
So just for a little bit of context, Christian and Matt were at a Waffle House and Christian got double armed DDT'd by a lady.
Oh, why?
it was Matt's birthday. It was 2 a.m. He
And
was
she
drunk
couldn't
as
handle
shit.
the fact that it was Matt's birthday, so she took it out on Christian.
She walked up to the table after being loud and disruptive with the 2 cooks that were in there. She gets an order to go, walks out, comes back in, and just approaches our table. And she's like, "Did you say someone should slap me?" And I was like, "I don't know you." And she's like, "But did you say someone should slap me?" And I was like, "No, why would I say that? I'm just trying to eat my hash browns." Double down and with the gravy in that moment.
Right.
That's how we do.
Right.
She was like, "Okay, well, if somebody said that to me or about me, they'd be dead." And I just kind of look, and she starts going off at me, and she turns around to the restaurant, like one of the waitresses is like, "Yo, you need to leave." And this girl goes off. She's like, "Y'all are really gonna let him talk to me like that?" I'm like, "I haven't said anything." And at this point, one of the waitresses just takes her apron off, comes around the counter, and they're like charging at each other like 2 bulls. Then cops run in and drag the woman out, and I just lean over and look at the waitress. I'm like, "Check, please. Like, we gotta go." I didn't go to a Waffle House for like 7 months after that, and then I got forced to, and I realized I missed the food, just not the
beating.
threatening my life.
I mean, realistically, all I can say is, you went to a Waffle House.
Yeah. What
I
were you
don't-
expecting?
I don't know what outcome you were looking for, but at
Hash
2
browns.
a.m.
Okay,
A Waffle
well,
House at 2 a.m. You're lucky you didn't get hit with a top rope falcon arrow. That's
Yeah.
all I'm gonna say.
well, I explained the story to Atticus the next
Big boot and
day,
leg drop.
and he's like, "Which one did you go to?" And I told him, and he's like, "That's the worst one in Charlotte." Like, I was like, "It's the only one on the way to the house." Like, I didn't know. At this point, I had only lived there for 2 months. I seriously had no idea.
Yeah.
Now, he says this, but there's one literally like a Bryson DeChambeau drive away from his house, just
I mean,
past it a little bit.
it's a Waffle House. I don't have any one of them near me, but I am traversed enough to know it's a fucking Waffle House. They're all pretty much the same.
Christian, you shouldn't have been talking like that, man.
Yeah.
I
All right, Brett, what is your perfect breakfast meal?
So I actually have a experience with breakfast. So the only time I ever eat a breakfast meal is after midnight. It is just an omelet with, I don't get cheese on it, just peppers, onions, double hash browns, gotta double down, and then maybe sausage. But other than that, hash brown, I need rye toast, and then the omelet for sure. I can't eat before noon. I can't.
That's fair.
Nice.
That's fair.
I'm by the stove after midnight.
It that like everyone always asks me like why can't you do it, and I'm like, so it goes back. The backstory is in high school I used to get like really upset stomach like in the morning, like really upset stomach.
Sure.
And then high school junior year I was in summer school, and I was like trying to like start to like get like really in shape, and like my buddy who was like a weightlifter was like, you need to eat as soon as you wake up. And I'm like, okay, like I can do that. So I started eating, like I would eat like a bowl of cereal before I would go to school. And I think just like, I don't know, I just think like eating that bowl of cereal was just like messing my stomach up every morning. So like I'd be like, everyone would be on the bus like yelling, and I would be like just not doing good, hunched over. And the second I would like get to the class, I would go up to my teacher like, I'm so sorry, I need to go to the bathroom. I need to go. I would be in the bathroom for like 15-20 minutes, and then I would come back, and they're like, did you just like leave and come back? And I'm like, I promise you I went to the bathroom for 20 minutes. And I had like almost like 8 to 9 summer school days straight. And then finally my teacher's like, okay, this is getting a little ridiculous. And I'm like, I'm sorry. And I stopped eating breakfast like totally after that.
They're like, bring me to the bathroom. You need to show your work.
Don't you dare flush.
Ugh.
All right, Matt.
Why is there
These are you, boy.
These are me. Okay. So the next one is you if you are on, like, let's say you just finished a show, you're on tour, you need to go to someplace. I'm guessing it's not gonna be the 2 a.m. Waffle House stop. What's the best tour food when you're on tour that you're like you look forward to when you stop?
Oh, that's regional. That is regional.
Yeah, that's very regional.
Um,
You could be up north, you get a trash plate like we did in Rochester.
the garbage plate.
Garbage
Yeah.
plate,
Garbage
yeah,
plate.
fucking-
Yeah.
I'm craving one of those. If we're down south, Bucky's, Sheets or Wawa is always a safe bet. And we recently played in Roanoke, Virginia, and like 2-3 blocks away from the venue was this burger joint that was almost 100 years old, and everything was hella cheap.
Oh yeah.
They essentially called Atticus a sissy because he asked if they had veggies, but like overall, it was really good.
It was
Nice.
great.
Hell yeah.
I looked at him and I was like, I'm going to kiss a man later tonight. What problem do you have with that?
Nothing.
And then he just goes and threw ketchup at me. He actually threw ketchup at me.
As one does, I guess.
What was it called? The Texas Tavern or something like that?
Texas Tavern. Yep.
What about you, Brett? What do you have any tour foods that you look forward to, or?
So I always try to make sure I hit somewhere that's like it's the staple to where you go. It's like you go to New York City, it's like I gotta get pizza. If I'm in Chicago, I gotta get pizza.
Didn't we treat you guys to Cookout last time y'all were down here?
We did go to Cookout, and I remember one specific thing about that was the story about how y'all's friend group say, "Oh damn," and I remember hearing this story. Right, we're outside the Cookout, and somebody, I think Christian was the one telling me about this, and then I was like thinking to myself, I'm like, how often does that actually happen though? And then I just hear zoom down the street in a car, just oh damn, just I'm like, this has to happen often. But y'all could definitely took out last time we were down south. But the go-to on the road, Taco Bell. Everywhere.
Taco Bell's a good stop, man.
The Chipotle Ranch Grilled Chicken Burrito.
Old
dude,
classic. The old old standby.
Spicy potato soft tacos.
Yeah.
Extra
Oh, yeah.
sauce.
You can't go wrong. Like, I don't know, like sometimes Sheets, it's like sometimes Wawa is like maybe like I kind of want it, but after like 2 days in a row, you're like, I don't know if I want this anymore. But like honestly, like you go anywhere in the States where there's always a Taco Bell like within a driving distance of some way, shape, or form, usually. And I've never had like one experience where I'm like, man, this sucked. I'm like, yep, that's exactly how I imagined it tasted, and it did, and it was awesome.
Right. I think the only fast food place that I can think of that varies from place to place, like is always different and is usually always bad, is Burger King.
Oh yeah.
1,000%.
I don't understand. I don't understand why.
You guys want to go through a nightmare?
Absolutely.
I was eating light. And by light, I mean like light portions.
Oh, like light bulbs, light fixtures.
No, like light bright. Like yellow card lights and sounds. No, I was eating like lighter portions one of the days on the March tour back in 2022. And just as a nightmare for you all, I had Burger King at 3 separate points in a single day.
Oof.
It was terrible. We were playing at O'Brien's, and it was the only thing in walking distance that wasn't like $22 plus a meal.
Oh my God.
Remember that Burger King?
Yeah.
That was great. We ran into some people from Tennessee just outside the venue on the way back from the Burger King one time. And I was doing the annoying thing where I was talking to people in public that I had no business talking to. And I was like, hey, come to the show. And they went, is it country show? And I went, yeah.
Can't you tell by my hair?
Spoiler alert, they did not come.
I'm sure.
What about the skater dude that had to
we ran into this guy like hit those little like stoppers when you're coming up a sidewalk. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Like you hit the intersection, it's got those little bumpy stoppers where there's like, don't skate.
Yeah.
He hopped off his board and it kind of bounced off of those and like veered over towards Home for the Day's other guitar player, Nick. And Nick like stopped it with his foot. And the guy was like, yeah, dude, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, but it's all good, bro. And Nick was like, no, it's fine. It's okay. I was like, how long have you been skating? We had like a little mini conversation. And I was like, well, dude, you know what you should do? You should come down to O'Brien's and come to the show. And he goes, whoa, I like can't because like I gotta be somewhere to get up in the morning. And he did the plus sign with his hand, and we were like, okay. Oh,
He had somewhere to be, man.
He just had somewhere to be.
Let the record show that is exactly what Nick sounds like. Like I know y'all don't know him, but that was a very good like.
He's like, he just talks like Hans Gruber in the Die Hards. Matt Reed.
I'm just gonna clip that. Every time someone needs to call me, it's just gonna be that now.
Reed. There you go. All right, Matt.
Oh, well, actually, speaking of clipping something, Nick clipped that clip of Joe Biden going like, "Look, fat, here's the deal." And no, it was him saying that, but he was screaming that. So every time somebody texted Christian or something, it would just go, "Look, fat." And it was
Text
Nick's
me.
voice. Yeah.
Text me.
Okay. Oh God. Somebody make time while I do the thing.
Well, Matt,
We got
ask the
one
last food question.
Our last food question. Since we have two different bands on the podcast today, what I want you to do, Seneca Burns and Fernway, you guys have decided that you're not going to be a band anymore, but you're going to be you've opened restaurants now. What I want you to do though is I want you to tell us what each other's restaurant would be based on your experience of each other. So Seneca Burns, you tell me about the Fernway restaurant. What do they serve? You know, are you naming it something else? And then Brett, I want you to tell me what you think the Seneca Burns restaurant would carry.
The Dancing Flamingo.
Okay.
I have to think of a name for the restaurant too.
Yeah.
And
I mean, they could be named Seneca Burns if you want. That could be the restaurant, but
Seneca Buns.
I'm naming the restaurant Seneca Cerns.
I like it.
In the restaurant, I'm gonna say it is everything off the menu of Cookout, but gourmet at an affordable price. And whenever you're there's no drive-through. There's no drive-through. You have to go inside, and once you place your order, they'll say your name. They'll be like, "Order for Jake Robertson is ready," and then you'll hear, "Oh, dear," and then your order is ready for you.
Okay, I think I know what y'all's is. This is Christian.
Oh, no.
You may differ with me, but I'm going with it's called the Dancing Flamingo.
Yep.
It's very skinny, but 3 stories tall.
Yep.
There's a little red floofy thing on
very
top
strongly
of it.
built.
Like there's a little red floof on top of it.
RJ's hair.
The menu is exclusively pretty patties from SpongeBob SquarePants.
Wagyu beef everywhere.
Like that just colorful hamburgers endlessly. That is all I can envision it as.
I'm on board with that. The Seneca Burns restaurant though. Atticus, I don't know if you're had
it's
Bene
Bene Concerns. It's Bene
Bene
Concerns.
Concerns. Okay, so 2 things that are hilarious to me about that is that Atticus and I have this thing where we constantly just flip the letters of everything. Like we've been calling Hans Gruber Gons Huber.
Okay.
And the other thing is I thought about the guy with the walking taco at that cookout that we
God.
saw T-Pain at.
What was T-Pain the one with the walking taco and Mike Jones was the guy serving us?
Yeah.
These people looked like identical to like celebrities and rappers that we love. It was amazing. This guy do you guys know what a walking taco is?
Yeah.
Okay. This guy goes through the cookout drive-thru, gets out of his car, pissed. And he's like, "What the freak is this? What is this? Is somebody just put their lunch in my thing? Look at this half-eaten bag of Doritos."
Atticus and I are standing like 2 feet away waiting on our food, and we both at the same time just kind of point at it, and we're like, "Dude, that's a walking taco." And he's like, "What?" Like he didn't know.
He thought somebody had gone in the refrigerator and just pulled out their packed lunch that they didn't finish and just put it in his thing and like, oh, lovely.
Oh,
This is
that's
funny. This out.
it's just like
Have to-
fucking pissed.
So
I love
everything
watching
at
people get
Bene
mad.
Concerns, everything at Bene Concerns has to be gourmet except for the walking taco. It's still just in the Dorito bag, and you just throw everything in there.
It has to be actually from somebody's lunch, though.
Each one's a little bit different.
Yeah. It's whatever chips came with that dude's lunch. All right. That's it. Finish the food for thought segment. We've got our last segment, and this is rapid fire questions.
Friendships will be tested. Rapid fire questions.
You're just going to speak from the heart. You're going to shoot from the hip. You know, this is where friendships can be tested. So,
No.
y'all are probably screwed. Are y'all ready?
I'm ready to go, man.
All right. Mountain Dew or Mellow Yellow?
Oh,
Mellow
Mellow
Yellow.
Yellow. Mellow Yellow, Days of Thunder.
Oh, shit. I do.
Oh.
I mean, I do like Days of Thunder. That is the best part about Mellow Yellow, however, though.
I say that as I was drinking a Mountain Dew earlier.
That, yeah, fair. Horror or comedy movies?
Comedy.
Comedy.
Or
I like
Horror.
I like horror games.
Okay.
I like comedy films.
Okay.
Like
okay.
I'm a big Silent Hill fan.
Nice. Good game.
Yeah.
Good game.
Silent Hill make.
Silent Hill 2 it's like the best game ever made.
Silent Hill movie? Not so good. Not so good.
Hot garbage.
Is it, Chris? Do you disagree? You have a look of confusion
No, I've got so
or concern.
I'm having like a whole like PTSD trip right now. I used to
From-
love horror movies.
From the Silent Hill
And-
movie. Mm-hmm.
Well, no, not Silent Hill. I got really, really stoned one time and watched there was a Daniel Radcliffe movie. I'd never heard of it, but the girl I was dating at the time wanted to watch it. It was called Horns.
Yeah,
Yes.
horns, dude. Yes.
And the
Reach
whole
out
time,
and touch faith. Bam.
the whole
My
time,
favorite
I'm
scene
just
ever.
like vegging out, like trying to figure out what the fuck is going on in this movie. And then it got to the last like 10, 15 minutes of that movie hit, and I just had like this meltdown in my
just
brain.
for the sake
and
of
the
like what movie?
Horns
Horns.
with Daniel Radcliffe. And the credits come on, and I just immediately have like a full-on panic attack, and I go blind, and my body's convulsing, and my like Autumn's just looking at me like, what do I do? What do I do? And I couldn't get words out. And finally it felt like an eternity, but it was probably only a couple of minutes. I seriously, all I was seeing was black. I was freaking out, and I got my vision back. It was fuzzy, and then it came back, and we were good. And I just look at her, and I was like, "Can we watch Mythical Kitchen now?"
Oh,
She
I
just
love
busted out laughing.
I love good mythical morning and a mythical kitchen.
Yeah. So since then, that was probably 3 years ago. I can't stomach like gory stuff, so I'm all comedy now.
Okay. Interesting.
My man said Horns was gory.
Yeah.
The end of it, was very much the
best-
snake is what fucked me up.
To me, if any of you guys have or haven't seen this, best Daniel Radcliffe movie ever is Guns Akimbo. It is amazing.
Which one is that?
So it's basically like he pisses the wrong people off online that have this like almost kind of like the Running Man type show, to where these people like you have to like professionals killers go and try and kill them, and they have to try and survive. And so he pisses these people off, and like so they come and they like attach guns to his hands.
Oh yeah.
And like he can't get them off. They're attached to his hands, and he has to try and survive a like a professional hitman trying to kill him, and it is fucking awesome, and it is so funny. It's great.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
It's good shit. Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon?
Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon all the way.
Cartoon Network.
All right. Thin Crust.
We've been opposite on everyone so far.
I see why you hated me for so long, Brett.
Well, I mean, it's a perfect thing. Like Fernway is like a fantastic band, and we are people can't understand why we get to do anything because we suck.
Here's going to be one that could really bind some ties here. Thin crust or regular crust pizza?
Oh, regular crust, dude. Who the fuck likes thin crust?
Depends where it's from.
No. Stop.
Yes.
Stop.
If it's like
I'm in that boat of it really depends where it's from, because being from Buffalo, like you're not getting thin crust pizza from Buffalo. Like you're weird if you're getting thin crust from Buffalo. But if you're in New York City, thin crust.
Okay, New York City style pizza is my favorite. It is hands down my favorite. But if I'm comparing like these like fast food pizza places, I don't know what else to call them, like your Pizza Hut, your Domino's, Papa John's.
Yeah.
I think all of those, I prefer the thin crust to the regular crust because it tastes like a Ritz cracker. Like I like it a little crunchy. Like it's a nice little switch up. Little Caesars, I'll get regular crust.
Christian,
Don't get the wings though.
Christian, why don't you like my songwriting?
All right, I'm gonna head out.
We're not done with the rapid fire.
You're not.
You're not.
Because we're going to get more intense.
Mm-hmm.
Lindsay Lohan or Tara Reid?
Why are you doing that to me, bro?
Google Tara Reid.
Tara Reid, bro. I'm an American Pie fan.
American Pie.
Wait,
dude, I literally Christian said mutt earlier, and I went like,
Lindsay Lohan.
Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah.
Tara Reid's fantastic.
They're both fantastic.
Oh,
Sharknado, though.
Yeah, but that's a plus for me. I don't fucking
chef's kiss for that.
Like,
I gotta say Lindsay Lohan, and the only reason why is because I was like Tara Reid. I have to Google this person, and I'm like scrolling, like looking at the discography of just movies, and I'm like, I've seen a few of these, and I hated it. Like I hated a few.
Whoa.
Like, there's this movie that came out in 2018 called Ouija House.
Oh.
It was so bad. It was so bad. And
I can't imagine a movie called Ouija House would be anything other than what you'd expect, Brett. I mean,
there's this movie that came out a couple years ago. It was just called Ouija.
Yeah.
And you've seen it before.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah. So if it's the same, I'm trying to think, because like the ending of it was so like the whole setting and everything was awesome. The storyline, the build up was cool. I'm like, okay, like where's this going? To find out they killed the ghost with friendship at the end of the movie. I laughed in the theater, and I walked out before credits were done. I was like, I'm good. Like they killed the ghost with friendship. I'm over there.
You can't stop Sora Donald.
Everything
Oh
can
my
be
god!
defeated through the power of friendship and love. Everything. Surprised you didn't know that. Last question, last rapid fire. Newfound Glory or MXPX?
MXPX.
MXPX.
Did you say pass?
Yeah. I know like 3 songs from each.
Oh wow,
Like I don't feel like I can give a honest answer on that.
that's fair. That's fair. So 2 MXPXs then.
I'm like very loose. See, I'm very loose on MXPX. The only reason why is because like some people have showed me some MXPX stuff. I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. It's like it's more punky and like I never like got super into them. And to be honest, like, if you asked me to name a New Found Glory song, I don't think I probably could.
Oh my goodness.
Actually, I'll go with MXPX just because Mike's also in Goldfinger and I love Goldfinger.
That is true. He is
That's
playing
fair.
bass with Goldfinger. That's fair. Well, you know what? That's it. You did it. You finished the podcast. Good job. Congratulations.
Da, 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 da.
See, I pop a little the Xbox achievement thing in there. It's like bookink. You know, once you finish, you completed. Now's your chance. Each of y'all bands, let everybody know what you got going on, where they can find you. What's next?
Seneca Cerns.
Seneca Cerns, you start.
You could probably find us in the trash pile at your local dump. There's a hefty mosh pit going on down in there, and yeah, no, I mean we're on literally everything. You just like I don't ever like to go too hard on like the link thing. Like if it connects with you, you'll look it up. That's kind of how I am. Just Seneca
Okay.
Burns. Just
It's fucking do it or don't. What do I
really
care?
bad. Like it's not great, you know. And the people that think it's great, you're not great. Sorry. No, that was very disrespectful. I'm sorry.
That's all.
Very disrespectful. No, that was one of those things. Like we played a show in Knoxville, and Matt said something that
Oh dear
he
God.
he missed an article and an adverb. It didn't come out with the rest of it. And he basically just said, "You guys suck," and it wasn't like funny. It was like I was like, Matt, no, bad. But yeah, no, this isn't live. We can just we're Seneca Burns. We're fucking a terrible pop punk rock emo band from Charlotte, North Carolina, and we're gonna be playing the Bardown BreakFEST with Fernway and tons of other great bands, both local and not local, sponsored by Unsigned Pop Punk, as well as many others. And we would really enjoy it if you guys came out. We're actually this weekend, I know this probably won't air, you know, in relevant enough time, but this weekend we're having like a free house show to promote said festival. So
Heck yeah.
it's gonna be really cool. It's gonna be a great time, and I would really like to see absolutely everybody possible out there. It's gonna be great. And also, before we kick it over to Fernway, I just want to say thank you to like you guys and like the homies at Unsigned Pop Punk, because we had a lot of help when we started the band, and like throwing us with nothing but an Instagram with like 100 followers, throwing us on like a playlist and helping us out in those like early stages. You guys weren't the only ones, but like everyone that said, you know what, rock on, kid, and gave us a chance. Like I'm glad that I'm now getting a chance to tell you guys thank you.
Yeah.
Because it meant the world to me. I think what you guys do are really, really important and special for like the overall scene, and it's really cool. Like we did that Sad Summerfest vote thing, and we made like the top 100, and like seeing most of those bands involved with y'all somehow, and then involved with other things, like the scene is actually so small on the national scale. It's ridiculous. Everybody knows everybody, and so like for y'all to just like open the door just a little bit and just go, come on, just get on the playlist, get on the, you know, whatever, like that means the world to me. You guys are forever indebted. Like I'm forever indebted to you, and I just wanted to say thank you, and thank you for sponsoring the festival.
Yeah, thank you guys
and having us
so
on the
much.
podcast.
Absolutely.
And you know, on top of the support shown for Seneca, like I know we're the guests on here, but you know, I've also got Home for the Day. I've been with them for going on 5 years, and you know, thank y'all for showing the same support to us as we've released material over the years. And I'm going to go ahead and talk about Home for the Day just released a new single. It's called Muscadine. So anybody listening to that, please go, or listening to this, please go listen to that. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And we'll be at the Bardown BreakFEST as well on day 2.
Look you. Brett,
Yes.
you're up.
So, an update on the band Fernway. We just went through a crazy member change. We no longer have our original drummer, and we don't have our bass player anymore. So there's 3 guitar players, and then we did just get a new drummer. His name's Jeremy Shields. Such a kind soul. He clicked with us right away. So we have a new lineup that we've been going with. And we've been kind of like reworking the project a lot. It's been every day in and out of like new stuff, like, because we're writing a new record at the moment, and it's been nonstop. When we have when we're not playing shows and we're not working, we meet up and we've just been demoing. And right now we're sitting on a folder of like 20 demos, but like I'd say like 6 of them are like there and like ready to be like produced and written. So there is a new record coming. I just wrote the concept for it the other day. I'm very happy with it. And we're on all streaming, everything, and all social media. It's always at Fernway Official for everything that we have. No space, like no spaces, no underscore. That's the word I'm looking for. No underscore.
Hell yeah. Well, everybody make sure, check out both bands. Check out the Bardown Breakdown. Check out Bardown BreakFEST. Make sure if you're in the area or moderately close to the area or not close, go to it. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully we can see you all there. And yeah, check out the bands. We're going to be doing the second Bardown special next Monday. That'll be next Monday. So Christian, Brett, Atticus, thanks so much for hanging out with us. This was a lot of fun. You were correct. This is probably the longest podcast we've
3 for 3.
But so congratulations on that.
Thanks for showing up late, Brett.
You have no like that's when I was like, Jonah, you sent me the wrong time. I literally was like in my chest. I'm like, oh, it's like I ate breakfast. That feeling of eating breakfast.
you know that feeling when you eat breakfast.
Well, when I eat
cereal, hot coffee,
the whole shebang.
But yeah, no, thank you guys so much. And to everybody listening, go get tickets for Bardown. Single day and weekend passes are available online. And if you get a weekend pass, saves you a couple dollars and you get a free poster.
Oh, baby.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah.
Hell yeah. All right. With that, me and Matt are about to hop into the Unsigned Pop Punk News, and we'll see you after this short music thingy, my Bob right now. People. Welcome to the Unsigned Pop Punk News. You know, if you've made it this far, good on you. I mean, this was a long one, but it was a lot of fun hanging out with our new family, our new friends, you know, Seneca Cerns and Fernway.
And the Flamingo
party. What was it? I don't remember.
It was beautiful. That was 3 feet, 3 stories tall.
Yeah. But you know, want to hear from you. What was it? You know, do you know these peeps? Do you like them? Do you listen to them? Did you go to high school with them? Let's hear it. Let's hear your thoughts about the cool peeps that we're on today. Got any stories of your own? Yeah, we want to hear from you. Join our Discord. Click links If you go and you pop up and you see the description, if you're watching it on YouTube, it's like right at the bottom, super simple. If you're listening to it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, there's a place that's got a description. There's links. Click it. It's there. I promise. I promise. And it's not going to be super hard. Just click the link for the Discord and join. And let's be friends forever.
Yeah.
It's a good community.
And, while you're at it, I'm looking at you right now, and you need yourself a new shirt.
I do.
Well, you, Pat, but also the viewer. I see you. I hear you. And your internal thoughts are saying, I need a new shirt. And what better way, especially because this episode is coming out in the month of June, which is, if I believe I'm correct, is Pride Month. I believe it is. And what better way to celebrate Pride Month than to get one of our gender equality shirts?
Mm-hmm.
On top of that, 15% of every purchase of our gender equality shirt is donated to the Trevor Project, whose mission is to end suicide among LGBTQ youth. Help us in supporting this amazing cause and support saving young LGBTQ lives. Now, I'm telling you, we're donating 15%.
Yeah.
I'm calling you out, Target. Are you donating 15%?
Okay, I mean, boy, they're donating a lot, I would assume.
Well,
Target's a good place.
Walmart.
Either
way,
Target.
We are making a statement that we are.
We are.
You don't have to question those other places. You come and buy our shirt, it's fucking sick as fuck, and you're helping a good cause. And you're not stylish. That's a win-win in my book, Pat, isn't it?
It's a win-win in all books, I think.
All books. Everyone wins.
Big, exciting news. We talked with the Back Alley. This year's punk rock flea market, it is near confirmation. We're looking at August 19th. It's a Saturday, and it's going to be awesome. We're going to have music. It's going to be a bunch of vendors. There's food around. There's beer around. It's not going to be there, but there's like a whole bunch of breweries there's one connected.
There's one next to it.
Right next to it. Just go and get some really freaking good local beer. And it's going to be tons and tons of fun. It was super fun last year, and we're hoping it's going to be even more fun this year. Twitch news, once again, we've got New Music Friday on Tuesdays, every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. We've got top 10 video countdown. You can go vote for it. I don't think today. Yeah, probably today. You can vote for it today. Sure, go to our website.
Let's do it.
Just do it. I mean, you'll find out. It's pretty much every day except for one. Yeah, every day you could vote except for Tuesdays. So go.
Tuesday, don't do it on Tuesday.
Yeah, don't do it on Tuesdays.
Go watch the Twitch show on Tuesday and then come back and vote.
Yeah, go vote unsignedpoppunk.com and vote for your favorite music video, because the top 10 is all voted by you, the listener, the viewer, the fan. None of the decisions are made by us. It is all based on you guys and what you vote. So go vote. The bands need you. The bands love you. So you can watch that every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, live on Twitch. And Thursday, because we've got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, back to back to back. Bam! Thursday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time is the super awesome music video show. If you're missing MTV, then we got you covered Wednesdays and Thursdays. We got our TRL style show, the top 10 countdown, and we got the super awesome music video show Thursdays at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on our Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/unsignedpoppunk. Link is also in any description. And that, my friends, is the way the news goes. Thank you again to Seneca Burns and Fernway for hanging out with us today. Thank you, Matt, for being my friend. Thank you for being my friend. Thank you, Lawrence.
That's all we could afford. Was you singing the thank you for being.
Well, it's okay, because I don't know if you heard it, but I kind of that we won't get charged for it because I kind of did like the vanilla ice.
Ooh, okay.
I don't know if you heard, but I switched up one of the words, so
Ooh.
it's not the same. It's a 10% difference.
Huh.
Thank you,
Lawrence.
Lawrence, for making all our art look awesome. Thank you, Gibby, for being Twitch Master Gib, for being our live face, the hostess with the mostest. Thanks everybody for participating in everything Unsigned Pop Punk does. Thank you for our community. Thank you, everybody. Love you. We'll see you all next week.
Peace out.
Bye.
Thank you so much for checking out the show. Please hit that like, subscribe, or follow button so you never miss an episode. And thank you so much to those of you who already are. Check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, or anywhere else you stream your podcasts. If you're in the position to help us grow and like behind the scenes access and exclusive shows, head on over to our Patreon at www.patreon.com/unsignedpoppunk. Let us know in the comments who you'd like to see on the show and what other content you'd like to see. Thank you all so much.